Hello chess friends and welcome to the channel. Today's game is Naiditsch against Anand, played yesterday in round 6 of the Grenke Chess Classic 2019. Unfortunately today this is the only game that I will be able to upload because just after lunch I'm going to one of my best friend's wedding in the relaxing countryside of Tuscany. So let's get started with today's game. We said Naiditsch against Anand. Naiditsch with the white pieces opens with e4 and Anand answers with e5. Knight to f3, knight to c6, knight to c3, knight to f6. This is the 4-knight opening. There are three main continuations for white. Bishop to b5 is the Spanish variation, d4 the Scotch variation, and g3 that is similar to the fianchetto variation of the Vienna opening. Naiditsch continues with bishop to b5, the Spanish variation, and Anand plays the second most played move after bishop to b4. Anand continues with knight to d4, threatening the bishop. Now, bishop to a4, because if we go back one move, here it's possible to capture with the knight, but bishop to a4 and bishop to c4 seems to give better practical results to white if you compare with the knight captures on d4. So bishop to a4, here comes c6, one of the best continuation that doesn't care about the e5 pawn. The only way to save this pawn instead of playing c6 is to capture with the knight on f3 with check, but this variation saves the pawn but leaves black a bit behind in development. So c6, Naiditsch captures with the knight on e5, here comes d6, the knight moves back to f3 and bishop to g4, pinning the knight. Here comes d3, d5, e captures on d5 and knight captures on d5. Castle for black, and this is one of the first important moments of the game. So in this position, if black continues with knight captures on f3 with check, g3 recaptures on f3, before moving back the bishop, knight captures on c3 attacking the queen, b captures on c3, and now bishop back to e6 to shield the king against rook to e1 with check. So black in this variation is still a pawn down, but with a better pawn structure, and with both queens still on the board, he will try to attack on the king's side because the castle is open. But Anand, instead of continuing with knight captures on f3 with check, after a short castle, he continues with bishop to e7. Here comes rook to e1, pinning the bishop, and knight to c7. This is Anand's novelty. So Anand, of course, will open the castle with knight capture on f3 with check, and with knight to c7, he wants to keep as many pieces as possible on the board to help with the attack. This is a novelty because before short castle was played. Here comes bishop to g5, attacking the pinned bishop, and knight capture on f3 with check finally. G recaptures on f3 and bishop back to e6 to shield the king and the bishop. Bishop captures on e7, queen recaptures on e7, and bishop to b3, and of course this bishop can't capture because it's pinned. Long castle for black. In the future, even if the queen moves away, this bishop will never capture here on b3, or the a5 will be open and it will be very dangerous for black. Here comes queen to d2 with Naiditsch that completes his development. Queen to f6, good move attacking f3. Queen to e3, threatening a7, but more than that, protecting f3. And king to b8, always a useful move. Naiditsch continues with f4. This move is very good because controls the important e5 square. And here comes the first important inaccuracy by Anand. Bishop to f5. And instead of bishop to f5, Anand should continue with rook to g8 and then with the pawn advance here on the king's side. And why is this an inaccuracy? At first it's low, and second, this bishop will become a target here on f5. Here comes queen to g3, knight to e6. This is a good centralization, but now this diagonal is open. Bishop captures on e6, f captures on e6 is the only possible recapture, because if bishop recaptures on e6, this move loses immediately, because there is f5 attacking the bishop with the discovery check, and so the bishop will be lost. So f captures on e6, the only possible good answer, but the f pawn is now isolated and weaker than before. Rook to e5, h5, king to h1, and h4 attacking the queen. Queen moves to e3, rook in h goes to f8, f4 is the target, but not before this bishop moves away from the f5. Now rook to g1, watching g7, and rook to s7, protecting the pawn. a3, h3, and rook to g5. Here comes rook in d, moves to f8, all of the heavy pieces on the f5, the target is still f4, but there are two problems. At first, the f4 pawn will be easily defended, and the second problem is that some of these pieces are really restricted, and this is a tactical weakness. Let's watch how the game continues. Knight to e2 brings the knight on the king side, protecting f4. Here comes c5. This is a clever move because it's not a good idea to capture with the rook on c5. Let's watch what happens. After rook captures on c5, this is a mistake because Anand will capture with the queen on b2, solving most of his problems. And so after c5, Naiditsch continues with knight to g3, attacking the bishop. This move will win a pawn. So bishop back to h7. But here comes knight to h5, protecting the pawn, attacking the queen, and attacking g7. After queen to d8 and knight captures on g7, winning the second pawn, here Anand resigns because another pawn will be lost. Likely, the next move would be bishop to f5, protecting the pawn and protecting from the terrible fork knight captures on e6, but then rook captures on c5, and black will be 3 pawns down without compensation. So what to say about this game? Anand really looked not well prepared in this position. At first he played a novelty knight to c7 that doesn't give anything to black, then he lost some time with bishop to f5 instead of playing rook to g8 and starting to advance with the pawn, and the bishop became a target. Naiditsch, on the other hand, played an almost flawless game and got another important victory. After Anand's loss, Carlsen is again the sole leader of the tournament and most likely the candidate for the final victory, as usual, in these first months of 2019. So, our analysis is over. I really hope that you also like this game. As I said, unfortunately today no other video will be posted to the channel, but tomorrow I will try to upload 2 new games, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For now, thanks for watching, goodbye and see you tomorrow.